Okay, I'm here with Ananya, and we're talking about pickup notes. We're talking about specifically when you have one pickup note into sort of a lyrical passage. This happens a lot in Daverio Concerto. It happens in places in Accolade. It happens in Allegro Brilliant. In all of those lyrical sections, we happen to be working on Conus right now. So, when you have a pickup note into the beginning of a phrase, specifically, and the pickup note is shorter than the note it's going into. So, in this case, we're playing an eighth note going D, D, going into a half note. A lot of times, what happens is the end of the preceding phrase. So, in this case, we're on E on a fermata. You end up out at the tip. So now we have a new phrase about to start. So you pretty much have three options. You can A, start where you are, start the bow at the tip for the pickup note, and go to the frog if you need to be at the frog for the note it's going into. You can start at the tip and use less bow and stay in the upper half. Or you can lift the bow and reset it and be in the lower half. It kind of depends. You have to figure out where do you need to be for that phrase. Well, we're specifically talking about a beginning of a phrase. So we're probably at the low point of the phrase. So let's try way number one, where we're just going to do whole bows. Now, we don't want to be we don't want to be accented. We don't want to be loud. We don't want to be too intense because it's the beginning of the phrase. So we're going to have to try to do a really light air bow. So let's try that. Start on the fermata note. Ready? Here we go. And just do an air bow. Okay, that can work. It's a little awkward, and you have to be really thinking about that I want to get to the frog, so I can't accent, and I can't play and just kind of whip the bow and use way too much bow. That's the common problem if you pick that way. Let's try the way where we're going to just stay in the upper half. Ready? So the fermata note. Okay, now what's the problem with that way is you sort of have to fight your natural tendency to feel like you need the whole bow for the second note, because we're going, which means you have to really do a slow bow. Here's the pickup, and here's the note you're going to. We don't have a lot of bow, so you really have to do a slow bow. But it can be done, and it actually works out nicely, because then you're here, and you can grow. The third way is the lift. Let's try the lift way. So here's our note before the new phrase. And we're going to lift. Now you can only pick that way if it's not disruptive to do the lift. So there's pretty much got to be a rest or something there. In this case, I think that could work. But then you actually end up in the wrong part of the bow because you're right here, and you're trying to play the beginning of your phrase. In this particular case, I think the best way was to stay in the upper half and save. But you have to fight that tendency to feel like you need more than a half a bow for that E. So you really have to play slow, or I should say it's the downbeat. Your downbeat, it's a half note in this case, but this happens in lots of phrases where you have a pick-up eighth note into something. Let's do it one more time that way. You just have to really plan out. You can't just bow and whatever happens, whatever happens.